Everyone thought she was just sad, that Tiffany Mann, the quiet daughter of gospel royalty, would be sad and keep quiet. At 2 a.m., though, a red live notice broke everything. Tiffany Mann is now online. The internet went crazy, the cameras changed, screens came on. With her eyes swollen and hair all over the place, she held a tiny Bluetooth speaker like it was a weapon. She spoke with a voice shaking not from sadness, but from anger. "I've been quiet long enough." She pressed play. The speaker picked up David Mann's words. "Jackie was never meant for Tamela to live. You already knew that. You also signed off." Everything froze. A lot of comments came in. "Please excuse me, that was her own dad saying it. Thank you, Lord. This is bad." Tiffany didn't move. She wasn't sick. They hurt her, gave her drugs that hurt her, lied about an illness, filled out and signed medication forms behind her back. "Do you want to talk about your faith?" She waved a piece of paper in front of the TV. "This is the form that Jackie signed. Strong drugs, false diagnosis of dementia. My mother never got lost. They were lying to her and deleting her." Then there was another sound clip. David kept calm. "We'll lose everything if she wakes up and talks. If she doesn't say anything, the power will stay ours." Tiffany's voice stopped. "You called this a church?" It was a business, though. A kingdom was built on how quiet she was. She was in pain. After that, the live ended. It was too late, though. People all over Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter loved the video. Hashtags poured in. Hashtag David Mann skipped. Justice for Tamela with the hashtag show Jackie now. In a dark hospital room, a nurse said, "Tamela, they're fighting for you." The corners of Tamela's eyes moved. She could hear them. She wasn't done yet. It was almost 2 a.m. when a quiet buzzing sound was heard on phones all over the country. Tiffany Mann is now online. The world of religion stopped moving. After weeks of pain, silence, and whispers, no one thought Tamela Mann's daughter would go live at that time. But everyone watching knew this wasn't going to be normal. When her face showed up on the screen, messy and red-eyed, she didn't say hello at the start, no holy books, no practiced lines. There was fire in her eyes as she looked into the lens. She held a small Bluetooth speaker in her shaking hand. She said, "I've been quiet long enough. Do you want the truth? I have the truth. No more church ads. Put down your masks. What really happened to my mom is about to be told to you." She hit play with just one tap. What happened next broke the internet. David Mann's voice, her own father, came through the speaker. It was cold and didn't say sorry. "Jackie was never meant for Tamela to live. You already knew that. You also signed off." The comments went crazy right away. "Please excuse me." What did he say? "Hey everyone, is this true?" Tiffany wasn't done yet, though. She stood her ground and tears filled her eyes, not tears of sadness, but tears of anger. Her voice was shaking, but her anger made her strong. "You think we were the best family for the gospel? You think we were all God and praise God? Not at all. We had a damn brand. My mom, who was the heart of that company, was treated like an asset, like a weight when she was sick. When she was quiet, it was like a business plan." She held up a stack of papers and seemed to be shaking. "This is the form for the medication, strong sleep aids. Dated for 3 weeks before my mom passed away. It was signed by Dr. Jackie. To make up a fake diagnosis, dementia." She laughed meanly and tried to hold back tears. "Alzheimer's a month before." Or that my mom was writing a record, touring and practicing. How did she forget her own words all of a sudden? "Don't think about what she said," or "me." At that point, she played the second. Shock turned into sickness. A huge number of people watching couldn't believe what they were hearing. This was more than just treason. It was planned to happen. The power couple in gospel wasn't just broken up. They were setting fire to the kingdom they had built while Tamela was still inside. The words turned into a huge fight online. "Lock him up. He got everything from that poor woman. Jackie needs to get rid of her license today." Tiffany's voice broke, but she didn't break down. She got closer to the camera and said in a whisper, "You let her fade. Even when she couldn't talk, you tried to erase her. But guess what, Dad? I heard her voice. I'm making use of it." After that, she stopped the live. Not a warning, no ending, nothing but dark. But the harm was already done. Clips were everywhere in minutes. Hollywood opened up. The Room with Shade. Every day, gospel news. Sunrise had pieces on even well-known networks like CNN and BET. Globally, Twitter became popular. "Justice for Tamela" with the hashtag David Mann skipped. "Jackie, you're next. Hashtag it." At the same time, Tamela lay still and quiet in a hospital bed, her eyes closed and her body still weak. Things did happen at that time, though. From the hallway, a nurse watching the live show turned the screen slowly toward Tamela. And her eyes moved as the sound played. She moved her fingers. It was heard by her. She heard everything. Doctors think it was just a coincidence, as a reaction. But Tiffany, she knew. Her mom wasn't gone. She got into a fight. From that bed, too. Even drunk and lied to, she still had her grip. After going back online, gospel fans were going crazy. David's praise of Tamela in old talks was now seen in a different way, tricky and clever hollow. Sermons he preached on being loyal, now seen through as deception. He didn't just lose his good looks, he was pulled out of the front gate of heaven. His work was being taken down by churches. Bookings were canceled. Overnight, artists pulled away from each other. Who is Jackie? Be quiet. Go away. The Instagram for her business was taken down. Her LinkedIn was cleaned up. Tiffany said this wasn't the end, though. She wrote on her story, "I have more." Do you really believe this is the only record? Hold on tight. The world was different the next morning after Tiffany's crazy Instagram live. People who love gospel music, go to church regularly, and are interested in black faith-based entertainment were all going crazy. Radio hosts skipped their Sunday shows to talk about what they were now calling the assassination of the Tamela Mann gospel. There were news cars lining the block outside of Tamela's hospital. People holding signs that said, "We believed in you, David," stood in the street. Tamela should have had more. Grab Jackie right now. At the same time, Tiffany had stopped talking altogether. There are no new posts, not any stories, there were no shows. Some people thought she was shut up, some were afraid of something worse. Then there was another blast. A full 17-minute phone call was leaked to Hollywood Unlocked by an unnamed source. A fake phone that Tiffany is said to have found hidden in Jackie's bathroom cabinet was linked to it. What about the voice on that tape? It's very clear. Nathaniel, I should have stuck to the plan. The doctor was already bought off. Nicole, you had one job, Jackie. I'm not to blame. Tiffany was the one who began to look around. We thought she would be on our side. David. She's not strong, like her mom, putting feelings ahead of the kingdom all the time. I shouldn't have put my trust in either of them. The line shakes. Jackie, what should we do now? David, we told her to shut up, the same way we treated Tamela. The computer stopped working. Elders in the church who had stood up for her. Within hours, all religious music stations took David's songs off their playlists. And Tiffany, she came back. Not on Instagram this time, but in real life. When she walked into the First Holy Baptist Church in Houston, she was all black and didn't have any makeup, glam, or filters on. Every move she made was caught on camera. She went up to the chair where her dad used to speak. She took a deep breath and spoke. Even though my mom sang about God, she actually lived with the devil. There were gasps from everyone in the church. My dad told a lot of people that our family believed in God, but when the doors are shut, it scared him more to lose control than to face God. Then her voice broke. Everyone saw how beautiful my mom was on stage, but you didn't see her when the cameras stopped rolling. You couldn't see her because her hands were shaking while she cried on the bathroom floor. You missed the pills Jackie gave her and told her would help her sleep. You didn't see the fake report, Alzheimer's, early start. She didn't think she was crazy, but my mom did. She was given poison every day, little by little, by the people who said they loved her. Now, I have to carry her voice now. They did this to shut it down. Faces in the crowd were filled with tears. An old woman screamed, "That poor child!" Someone in the back fell down in shock. Then Tiffany reached into her bag and took out a vial that said Tamela Mann on it. Timed, Dr. Jackie Lewis signed it. Tiffany held it up. This is what they gave her. Not pills, not vitamins, and not sleep aids, strong enough to knock out a grown man. And guess what? The doctor who gave this to you disappeared last night. Gone. No comment, no answer. The media circus got even worse. CNN reported on it. From Stage to Silence, The Fall of Gospels, Golden Couple was a show on NBC. Then the news from the hospital. Tamela Mann was awake again. She wasn't fully or completely awake, but her eyes were open. When Tiffany walked into the room with her hand in hers, Tamela pushed back. In a soft voice, the nurse asked, "Do you know who this is?" Tamela didn't say anything. She said one word out loud, "Lie to you." Tiffany cried. In the middle, down on her knees, getting loud. "I'm really sorry, Mom. I did my best. I had no idea. It was too late for me to see it. Someone filmed the whole thing from the background." In 7 hours, it got 1 million views. People cried and prayed, but David was nowhere to be found. He didn't post. He hadn't put out a comment. Since Tiffany's live, he hadn't been seen in public until the press caught him at a Texas gas station. Put on your hood, putting on glasses. And when they yelled, "David, did you really say Tamela was never meant to live? Did you give your wife drugs for the empire?" David said one word out loud and then sped off. "You have no idea what she did." People began to wonder all of a sudden, what secret could Tamela have had that was important enough to kill for? The conspiracy ideas then went off like a bomb. It had become a war in the comments. There were screenshots of the prescription form, clips of David's voice, and Tiffany's teary face all over the TikTok X and gospel news pages. New influential people responded every second. Pastors didn't say anything, but the streets, there was a lot of yelling. Reporters began to gather outside the hospital, people with lights on. Tamela's gospel records are like old treasures to her fans. At least one woman cried into a microphone. She prayed for me while I had cancer. Now she has to fight by herself? This isn't right. This is not holy. Tiffany stood next to Tamela's bed inside, holding her hand. D, while my fingers shake. Mama, you heard it, right? That's what you heard him say. Tamela's fingers moved around again. Then her lips turned apart. I'm not going anywhere. I fought for you. I told everyone. She ran to tell the doctors what was going on. Outside of the hospital, cameras caught the chaos. Safety moved quickly. Tiffany and her mother went into the lift and got lost. Tamela was pushed into tests quickly. They didn't know how she got better so quickly. Tiffany knew, though. Tamela took medicine and didn't wake up. The truth had finally been told, and she woke up. Then, just as things were looking up, all of a sudden, things got worse. In this case, a message got out. This is Jackie. It was on TMZ within an hour. Voicemail for Jackie. We did what we needed to do. It was getting worse for her. She talked a lot about demons in the house and said that God told her to close the studio. Do you think VT would have kept our show if she had been doing that? We kept the name safe. Tiffany heard it as she paced in the hospital hallway. The message, the voice of Jackie, Tiffany said in a whisper, she's talking about my mom as if she were a liability. She did not wait. She took out her phone. One more Instagram live. This time, 180,000 people joined in less than 5 minutes. Tiffany, please explain. You gave my mom drugs without her permission and made up a fake illness so you wouldn't lose a show. You wanted her to leave so that you could look good. You now say it's to protect the brand. Jackie, I hope that every church you go into slams the door shut on you. Since you're not religion, you're not holy, you a devil in heels. The comments blew up again. Expose her, Tiffany. She did it for a show. And then Tiffany dropped a bomb that no one expected. I talked to my mama's real doctor, the one they fired before bringing in Jackie's fake friend. He said Tamela showed no signs of dementia, none. But somehow, the second Jackie started signing her forms, she was on 6 different sedatives and couldn't remember her own lyrics. Tears streamed down Tiffany's face. She thought she was losing her mind, but it was y'all poisoning her, slowly, quietly, until she couldn't even speak. Then she pulled out a photo from her pocket. It was a picture of her mother 2 weeks before the collapse, eyes vibrant, smiling, full of life, and beside it, a screenshot of Tamela hooked to machines, barely alive. You did this, Tiffany whispered, and I swear to God, y'all not getting away with it. In Tamela's room, a miracle unfolded. Tamela got up. The doctors were shocked. Now the machines kept beeping. Where's David? Tamela asked in a whisper. The nurse gave her a soft look. Tiffany told on him. He is no longer there. You're now safe. Tamela closed her eyes again, but this time she wasn't sleepy. There was peace. I'm back online. There was a lot of chaos in the gospel society. Leaders of the choir stepped up. Anonymous former employees of the Mann's production company said they had been mistreated for years and were forced to keep quiet because of NDAs. They also said that Tamela was slowly cut off from all business decisions. One person even wrote, I thought she was losing her memory, but now it all makes sense. They tried to get rid of her. There will be a prayer gathering in Atlanta and a second one in Houston. The Mann family empire, which used to be kept together by the idea of gospel perfection, was now coming apart like wet paper towels. Then there was the last twist. Tiffany put out one more audio clip. Listen, David, if she doesn't die, you and I both go down, Jackie. That easy. Keep quiet. David again. The doctor is already paid. He understands what to do. In this last clip, Tiffany didn't say anything. She didn't need to. The world heard all that was important. Federal officials confirmed within hours that they were looking into the case. Fraud in medicine, attempted murder, secret plot. Jackie shut down all of her social networks. David